Hello students! I am here to give you a quick demonstration on how to turn in your group project. So the end of the semester is upon us. Your group projects will be due soon. So I wanted to give you a quick demonstration on how we turn it in because there's a couple things to turn in all at once. So I wanted to make sure you were aware of what everybody has to turn in and then where to do that and how to submit multiple assignments on Canvas. So the first thing I think you should do is double check the due date. So for every class the due date's slightly different. For every semester the due date's slightly different. So here is an example of a schedule for a class. Check your schedule, check when your group presentation is due. So with that, this semester, this is an older schedule, so sorry about that. Every group member will upload the final presentation. So we'll go to Canvas. You can also check the due date there. As you can see, this is actually a different class. Its due date is different than the one that was just on that schedule, so double check your own due dates. So when you click this group presentation link to turn it in, it will show you a screen similar to this. So maybe the instructions might be slightly different depending on the semester, but it will look similar to this. Give you some instructions. Hopefully you've already read that rubric a long time ago at the beginning of the semester before you started working on the presentation. So then you'll go to Submit Assignment. So here you can add multiple files to this. So those files that you will need to submit are your group presentation, so the actual group presentation file, and the group ratings. So I will show you some examples of those. Let's say this is a open documents format PowerPoint program. So these are the PowerPoint slides essentially. So I finished them on pro-social behavior. As you can see, I have my notes as well. So I'm in notes view right now, so you can see those notes in Google Slides as well as Microsoft Office. PowerPoint, the notes look a little bit differently, but here you can see on the left side what the slides actually look like. So these are the slides that me and my group created. We have our script or our notes here. I've got another example here, and this is just a PDF. So I saved that same document as a PDF. So these are just single pages that have both the slide on the top and the notes on the bottom. So I have both those save files. You only need to have one example of those. You can do this on Google Slides by saying export to PDF with the notes, or on Microsoft Office PowerPoint by saying save as PDF. You can also save it as a Microsoft Office PowerPoint format, or you can save it in this open documents format, the .odp format. So there's a couple different kinds of save files you can use. Don't use Pages, and don't just send me the Google Slides link, because oftentimes that's private and I can't actually view it, and then when I'm grading these I have to message you and say, hey, make it available to me, and then if it's not available in enough time, I won't be able to grade it. So, and that can be frustrating. So make sure if you're using Google Slides, don't just give me the link to the Google Slides presentation. Actually export it as PowerPoint format or PDF format or open documents format. And then you can upload that actual file. So here I have my ODP format, I have my PDF format, and I also have my group member ratings. So I'm going to open up that group member ratings. And here you can see the members of my group. So I have this example student. On yours you can probably delete that example student, but that was just to show you how to go about doing this. So Karen was in my group and she didn't do any work hardly, so I looked at these criteria down here. So for contributions, I read through what is excellent, what is good, what is fair, what needs to improve, what's unacceptable, and was that person missing. So if they're completely missing, they don't do any work at all, they never contact you back, missing or 0 would probably be an appropriate score. If they did very little work, just read over these criteria. So it's essentially the rubric that you can grade them by. So for contributions, I gave Karen a 1. I gave Karen a 1 for communication listening, 2 for cooperation. She was a little more cooperative at some points. And then preparation, she did sometimes turn in the assignments and about half of the work that she was supposed to. So Karen, by the way, is pretend. These are all pretend students I just made up. Bobby did really well. Bobby worked hard. Myself and Bobby worked on pretty much the whole project together. So Bobby actually did a lot of the work on it, so I gave him actually a higher score than I gave myself. we were both, sometimes there were disagreements, but we communicated and listened, we cooperated pretty well, and we were both pretty prepared. So I gave us these rankings. Down here at the bottom, you can even make some open-ended comments. I was really annoyed with Karen, so I put some comments about her work, and it's not just if you're annoyed with the group members. I'm just trying to use that as a funny example in this video. But if there were certain extenuating circumstances, like a group member got sick halfway through and wasn't able to complete their work, that would be a good thing to add here. If you reached out multiple times and a group member just never got back to you or something like that, let me know those kinds of things. So my example here is kind of a silly one, but just to show you what you can do. So save that document. So you now have your group member rating and you have your presentation saved. So I'm going to turn in the PDF version of my saved presentation and this group member ratings. So I will go back to Canvas and click Submit. Oh, sorry. I have already clicked Submit, so it's mad at me. So I will browse and I will find those two files. So group presentation. So let's say I need those notes, so I want to submit this one. And then after that's uploaded, I should be able to add another file, and it might take a minute for it to actually upload. But you upload both the group presentation and the group rating, and you submit it. Just make sure everybody in your group should upload the group presentation. Just in case someone doesn't in your group, then there should be 2 or 3 other versions, and everybody's names should be on that first page of that slide presentation, as well as your group ratings. So it makes it easy for everybody to get the scores on these presentations. So that's how you do that. Good luck on finishing those up, and I will see your good work very soon.